What's up, guys? I'm here at the 2019 Travel and Adventure Show. Ruth, how's it going?
Hi.
How you doing? Well, first, we're here in DC. Can you tell me, how it's been so far?
In DC?
Yes.
Oh, it's been amazing. It's such a great show. We love coming every year. Not just for I'm a tourist in DC, but because the show itself is always full of so many active, interested, engaged travelers. So it's always a highlight for sure.
Okay, all right. So tell me a little bit about Alaska. I know just off the top of my head, out of the many friends that I have that love to travel, Alaska is always on that list, bucket list or otherwise. So are there any things currently now that Alaska has to offer for tourists that perhaps wasn't available a few years ago?
I would say one of the things that we've seen really blossom in terms of interest, and also just having tour operators kind of meet the demand, is Northern Lights viewing.
Okay.
We've seen a huge increase in people that are really interested in it. It's gotten a lot of press, I think, in recent years, and so people now are looking at it as something that just is shot to the top of their bucket list. And Alaska has always been a prime location to view Northern Lights, but now people are kind of recognizing it as such. So we're seeing a really great operator versus demand kind of meet, to have a lot more opportunity to view it, and different choice, as to when you want to come to see it, who's going to choose to take you out Northern Lights viewing, that kind of thing. So that's been really exciting for us.
Okay, cool. And I know I was listening a bit, when one of the attendees were coming, and you were talking about the manner or the way in which you're able to enjoy Alaska transportation-wise. So can you talk a bit about that and that trend of what you've noticed among tourists?
Right. Well, we always get a lot of questions about cruising to Alaska, and I think that's mostly because people really only are exposed to the Alaska cruise because cruises are marketed so heavily.
Yes.
And so we always like to just throw out the opportunity that you can fly to Alaska. There's more than just the inside passage to view. So doing what we call a fly drive trip, which is you fly into Anchorage and you either rent a car and you drive yourself around, or you could take an actual just a land tour with a tour bus kind of situation, is something that we always try and encourage and promote, because I think people don't understand how much more there is of Alaska to see. And if you're taking the little extra research to find out what your independent land tour would look like and what you'll get to see and experience, I think people find that a much more enriching experience, and just really you get a much better immersion of Alaska itself. The wilderness, the wildlife, the glaciers, dog mushing and glacier viewing and trekking and hiking and all that. There's so much to do in Alaska, and people, I think, get very they just tend to think that, I just have to get on a cruise ship and go do that, and then I get off, and that's all there is to see and do in Alaska, and it's obviously not the case. So
okay, awesome. Yeah. Now the last person I was speaking with someone the state office, and they were talking about one trend that they noticed is how there are now more passports being issued, more so than ever before.
Right.
Have you noticed that transition with what you've been seeing with Alaska as well, whether it's with cruises or any other facet of the tourism?
You mean just maybe an increase in actual
Yeah.
travel?
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. Alaska is, I think, a lucky destination that we have seen increases, year over year for a really, really long time. I think, again, I think because of certain areas of the world that have been marketed so heavily in the last few years, Americans specifically are kind of shifting their focus to Alaska because it is an American state, but yet it's an Arctic state, and it's much different and an exotic vacation for a lot of people. So yeah, we're absolutely seeing big increases in travel. So we're hoping for 2019, 2020 to be growing even more. So fingers crossed. That's why we're here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Ruth, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.